Current estimates are that there's 560,000 new pieces of malware released every single day. Up to 40% of that is either AI generated or AI improved or AI iterated. Now the challenge is, how do you keep up with that?
Hi, I'm Scott Campbell with the Global Technology Industry Association. We are here with GTIA on location at Zero Trust World in sunny Orlando with all our friends from ThreatLocker, including Rob Allen, Chief Product Officer of ThreatLocker, and a couple thousand or more of our closest ITSP friends here too. So Rob, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, it's a pleasure to be here.
So my first question for you is, what do you want the couple thousand of our closest friends here to walk away with this week?
If each of those couple of thousand people walk away with one thing that makes their organization safer, we've achieved our goal. Now, hopefully they'll walk away with a lot more than one thing, but if each of them walks away with one thing, makes them more secure and less likely to get hacked, then we've done our job. It's very much a training focused, it's an educational event rather than just a lots of people talking to you event. So we've got hacking labs, we've got all sorts of fun stuff, interesting things, but as I said, if everybody walks away just that little bit more secure than when they walked in the door, then we're happy.
And that's an interesting point. Like you talk about the training and education, and I think that, to your point, that's a very important part of it, right? And this is maybe a strange question to ask the Chief Product Officer, but it's not just about products, right? It's about how you use the products, how your employees are interfacing with each other and with customers, and how your customers are doing
Absolutely.
It too, right?
Yeah, no, it's a huge part of the event, and it's been a part of the, this is my fourth Zero Trust World, and it's always been a core part of the event. I mean, we spent over $1 million, I think it could be close to $2 million on laptops for labs, so people can be trained, they can be shown things, they can be educated, basically. So that's been the case pretty much since Zero Trust World started. I think it's 5 years ago. 70 people came to that one. All the ones I've been at since, it's pretty much grown year after year after year. It's almost doubled year after year after year. And almost universally the feedback from people is they love it here. It's not like an ordinary event. It's not just a bunch of people talking at you or talking to you. It is very much something that includes you. It's educational. As I said, it's fun in a lot of ways. And even the speakers we've got, some of the speakers we have are amazing, and they're interesting. They're people that you'd love to listen to and to talk to as well.
So I asked what you want the attendees to see, hear, learn while they're here. What are you hoping to see, hear, learn while you're here?
Probably the most valuable thing for me is the conversations that we have with customers, prospects, especially customers, because they're the ones who use the product every single day. They have ideas, they have things that they would like us to do differently, to do better. They have suggestions, and taking that in and basically trying to make some of their best ideas into product is one of the most important things I can do for the company. So those conversations are invaluable. I mean, obviously, even just getting the opportunity to meet people. I mean, we see so many people on the other end of a Zoom call. I mean, we've got customers here for all over the world. We've got Australians here. We've got large customer of ours from Brazil is here. I've been on Zoom calls with these guys on multiple occasions. I've rarely get the opportunity to meet them face to face, and having them here and having that opportunity is incredibly valuable to us as a company.
Oh, that's very cool. So one of the things, obviously, as a Chief Product Officer, you guys are going to be kind of doing a big announcement on new products and new innovations. But I also wanted to ask you, how do you want your customers to be utilizing ThreatLocker? Not just the products, but the services, sort of implementing everything into a solution, right? What do you want your pitch to be to customers?
I mean, effectively, there's a lot of security products out there. You have a lot of different options in terms of what you choose, what you think will make you safer. The beauty about what we do is it's very unique, it's very different, it's not like anything else. I mean, there's a lot of similar tools out there, they all basically do the same things in the same way, they all basically try and detect bad stuff and hopefully stop it. I think what has become unbelievably apparent over the last number of years is that's not always effective. It might be effective most of the time, but it's not effective all of the time. So it becomes apparent that a different approach is required, and that is the approach ThreatLocker takes, which is deny by default, permit by exception. So it takes your traditional model for security and it basically turns it on its head. So even if we can communicate to our partners, to our customers, how best to communicate that message to the people they talk to as well is hugely important. And that is, again, part of the mission of the entire Zero Trust World enterprise. So
you're obviously Chief Product Officer at ThreatLocker. You're living, breathing cybersecurity 24/7, right? You don't have a choice, right? That's part of the job. Yeah. What would you think is the biggest challenge that IT service providers face in the market? Biggest cybersecurity challenge that IT service providers face in the market today? It could be a technical challenge, a business challenge, customer challenge.
I'll give you two answers. They both involve AI. One is that it's approaching the majority of malware that's discovered, new malware that's discovered, it's approaching the majority of it is now showing signs of either being AI generated or AI improved, so iterated by AI. So bad actors are using those tools against us. There's something like 560,000 new pieces of malware discovered every single day. And the challenge is how to keep up with that. And you quite simply can't. So to detect each of those 560,000 new pieces of malware that are improved, that are iterated, that are generated by AI tools is approaching impossible. So that's probably one of the biggest challenges is what do we do to deal with this? How do we solve this problem of an ever-increasing volume of ever-increasingly technically excellent malware? Because it's polymorphic, it's just getting better and better and better. And trying to keep up with that is proving to be virtually impossible, which again is why the approach that we take is so important. In terms of what's coming down the tracks, I think, and I know all companies or all cybersecurity companies they're talking about AI. They're talking about agentic AI more specifically. And agentic AI provides a unique set of challenges from a security perspective, because you got this thing running in your machine, in your environment, and it can basically do what it wants. It can do what it wants for good, but it can also do what it wants for bad as well. So, OpenClaw is probably the best example of that. It's obviously now been purchased by OpenAI, so hopefully it's going to get a lot better behaved, shall we say. But the fact of the matter is, it's still something running in your machine that can access all your things and do lots of stuff. That's going to present a huge challenge because default deny takes care of those things from running. So OpenClaw can't run on a secured machine. But where the real challenge is presented is when people want to run these and want to run them safely. And you can try and detect anomalous behavior in an agentic AI or an AI agent. That's really hard because who's to say what's good and what's bad? Who's to say whether this is behaving within the parameters it should behave or not? And we have a solution to that, which is what we call ring fencing. So it's basically, I want this thing to run, but as soon as it calls PowerShell has restrictions in place around it, so it can't access my files, it can't go out in the internet. Okay, it calls command prompt, it calls Git, it calls any number of different pieces of software, but ring fencing basically puts restrictions in place around those pieces of software, meaning they can't step out of line, they can't be misused. So that's a huge thing. And as I said, it's not necessarily can we run these things because people are going to want it. It's how do we run them safely? And that's where what we do is so unique.
Going back to your first point there, 560,000 new pieces of malware a day, many of them AI infused, AI powered, AI generated. And you said basically it's impossible to keep up with them. So what do we do? Like, what do IT service providers do? What is your advice for how to manage?
You don't try and keep up with them. You don't have to keep up with them, because if you block everything by default, you're going to block all those 560,000 pieces of malware, plus all the billions of other previous pieces of malware as well, plus all of the billions of new pieces of malware that are going to be created over the coming days, weeks, months. So that's the beauty about block by default, by deny by default, is you don't have to keep up with it. You just deny everything and work backwards from there. Because in most environments, most users use a relatively small set of software every day. I mean, I'm a fairly advanced user, I'm Chief Product Officer, but I probably run 10 programs on a daily basis.
Right.
I run browsers, I use video conferencing things like Teams, Zoom, Office, maybe Acrobat from time to time. That's everything I run on my computer. And as I said, I'm an advanced user. So go to your average normal user, and they're not running all manner of random software. They're running a set, limited amount of things. And fundamentally, all we do as a platform is we set guardrails around that. And we say, look, you operate within these guardrails and you're not even going to know we're here. Now you step outside of those guardrails and try and download, Cooper, the coupon clipper from China, or a remote access tool, then absolutely we're going to step in. But that stepping in is what keeps organizations safe.
Thank you very much for your time. I have one last question is, obviously we're very excited to be here at GTIA. We think we have a great partnership with ThreatLocker. And I want to just ask you, what does the value of being a GTIA partner and part of our community and us being part of your community, what does that mean to you?
Well, it means everything. I mean, community, as I said, is hugely important. Relationships are hugely important. Trust is hugely, and it's ironic that as a company who basically espouses the virtues of zero trust, but trust is really important. But as I said, community is incredibly important to us. The opportunity to meet both customers, prospects, other vendors. I think we've got 40 or 50 other vendors here as well. They're all part of a community. And we're a community that are basically all, as far as I'm concerned, we're the good guys. Right. We're fighting against the bad guys, but as a community, we are fighting against those bad guys. So it is something that's hugely important to us, and it's very valued.
Well, Rob, thank you very much. That was great. Thanks for stopping by with us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
And once again, Rob Allen, Chief Product Officer at ThreatLocker. Thanks very much. And we will be back with more videos from Zero Trust World in just a little bit. Stay tuned. By the way, watch the playlist, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we are going to be at more events, including next week with GTIA on location.